Here we go again with another typical January movie, this time with the cartoony antics of Johnny Depp as our main character. So Mortdecai is a comedic take of a B-movie heist film mixed with a spy spoof. Mortdecai is of course played by Johnny Depp in another cartoony, over-the-top performance, and if you don't like that kind of Johnny Depp acting, then you might as well pass, because that's what it's like through this film. So Johnny Depp plays Mortdecai, who is this art smuggler who's way over his head in debt, and he's been recruited by the MI6 to find this stolen piece of art, mainly because this international terrorist is interested in this piece of art, stolen art. And so the film becomes him trying to find the reason why the terrorist needs this art piece and try to figure out a way out of debt. And so by the end of it, it becomes this sort of heist type film, and for the most part the second half is very enjoyable. Yeah, the first half is pretty boring and drags on, except for a few good scenes here and there spread throughout the first half of the film. It's the second half of the film that really picks up, and you get a sense that they figured out what type of movie it's supposed to be. I just wish it would have been more like that in the first half. Otherwise, I probably would have liked it throughout, but instead the second half is way better. Overall, the acting is okay. It's nothing terribly bad unless you're just not into the cartoony Johnny Depp or some of the other acting. But Paul Bentley was pretty much the best of the characters. His character was the bodyguard slash manservant of Mortdecai, and he had some of the best lines, and he's this ugly, brutish, silent type who somehow gets all the women, which is quite hilarious. Mortdecai, on the other hand, while I do like Johnny Depp and I don't mind some of his cartoony type work, it does get annoying from time to time. The character of Mortdecai often comes off as very pathetic and just wimpy when it's supposed to be funny. I mean, I can understand if people think it's funny, but there are times where he just feels like a pathetic loser too much so that it makes it annoying rather than funny. Now, while this is a comedy, there are things that just don't quite mix and make it more of a cartoon, when it's fine if it was a PG or PG-13 movie, but it's a rated R film, so it's a little off-putting, and some of the instances would be like this one character being killed. There's this one character that gets shot several times, and he just sort of stunned and looks down and he's like, "I've been shot!" And then he gets shot again and then finally dies and falls down and dies, and that's that's a little weird. And then there's times whenever they're going to a new city or a new famous place, it looks like a bad CGI cartoon of them going to the next place. The transitions are pretty weird. But the second half is a little darker, it's a little bit more violent, it's a little bit more to the R rating, and it feels like this is how the film should have been throughout. Overall, I wasn't completely bored, and I didn't hate the film to the point where I shouldn't have watched it at all, so I'm going to give it a 2-star rating. So, have you seen Mortdecai? What do you think of it? If you haven't, what's your favorite Johnny Depp movie, I guess? Comment below. This is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.